If you want to create an outline in Microsoft Word, there are a couple of ways to do this. In the first place, you can create simply a numbered list, and that's what we've done here. So if you highlight your text and you go to Home, under the paragraph options, you can change the number format. In this case, we've started with Roman numerals, so there we go. And then once you have this, you can change the order quite easily. So here we have the aquiline nose, and if we want to increase the indent, we can do that. If we want to decrease the indent, we can do that. So we have quite a bit of control over this. I should also mention that you can change the layout if you use the ruler. So under View, if you click on Ruler, which is selected at this point, you can change the layout, and you can fiddle around with these little tab spots, I guess. I don't know what you call them. And then you can change the way this looks. A little tricky to do though. And it may be easier actually, and this is what I would suggest, to use a slightly different feature for creating your list. So if we go back to the paragraph options and we look right beside the numbered list option, we can click on this, and this is going to allow us to create a multi-level list. A very cool one. We have some preset options, but we can also customize it. So let's click on Define New Multi-Level List. There we go. And now we have a lot of control. So in this case, we have a bunch of levels we can modify. Most often, we're not going to get all the way to level 9, but let's just focus here a little bit on the first few levels. Let's say we want to keep the Roman numerals, and we quite like that, but for the second level, we want to change this, and we're going to change this to capitals. Okay, maybe we prefer that. And then for level 4, let's change this as well, and we're going to change this to lowercase letters again. Okay, so let's say that we're happy with that. We have a bunch of other options here as well, and you can access these by clicking on More, okay, and then Less to minimize. So for instance, you can change how much space there is behind each number or letter, and that's quite a useful function. Not going to review all of these, but at least it gives you a bit of a sense of what's there. Let's click on OK now. There we go, and it has changed our list a little bit. We don't yet have the fourth level, but we could obviously see it like that. Okay, so that basically is the way in which you can create a list, an outline, using the list functions under the paragraph menu. Next, let's have a look at a different way to create a list, and this is particularly useful if you're going to use your outline as the basis of the different sections of your text. So if you're just going to create an outline and you're not, that's it, then I would suggest you use the first method. But if you want to use this outline as the different headings and so on of your essay or a book even, then I suggest that you use the heading styles. And let's have a look at how this works. So under Home, we have a bunch of different styles. And if we assign these different styles like this, so we go here and we assign this particular style, then we can really have some control over this. So in this case, we've clicked on title. We've made this our title. And then if we want to also format this, we can right click on it. Okay, we can click on modify. And now we have a lot of control. So notice right away at the very bottom here that we can actually make this our style for other documents as well. So if you really like a certain style, you can start to create a bit of a template for the way in which you like to set up your documents. You can also obviously change the way this looks. So maybe you want to go really fancy here. I wouldn't recommend it, but there you go. You have lots of control over how it looks, and then you can apply it. So let's just click on that. There we go. There's our title. Now, as you can see, I've done a bunch of formatting here already. And I've done that because now, if we want to see this as an outline, we go to View, and we click on Outline. There's our option. And lo and behold, there we go. We have a beautiful outline. We can even print this. And you can print as much or as little of it as you want. So if you click on Show Level, let's click on Show Level 2. There we go. And it's only showing things up to level 2. So that would be one headers or first level headers and second level headers. Okay, so but it's not showing anything beyond that. If we were to go to File and Print, you can print just this. And even though the print preview will suggest that there's more text, just ignore that. You can print it. It will just print what's on your screen. Okay, let's go back to all our levels. And now you have a number of options here. So if we select a little bit of text, or if we put our cursor here, we can actually do a bunch of things. We can, for instance, move it up or down. Okay, there we go. We can also change the level, so we can easily go in either direction. And these final arrows, they create the most drastic change. You can see that it just turns it into regular text. There we go. Now it's back to level 1. Another thing you can do is you can click on plus or minus, and that's going to open up particular things. So right now everything is open here, but if we click on minus, it's going to, reduce some of the visibility. Now we can keep clicking on minus, and it just keeps closing things down. So there we go. All right, so those are a few options for you if you want to create beautiful headings. And the nice thing about this is that you can move text around, you can select a bunch of it, move it to a different spot, and then it moves all of the stuff. So if we, for instance, really like this point here, right? It doesn't select the dots here, the ellipses, because those are not part of the actual document. It's just showing a little bit of this line. But if we select this and we move it down, okay, let's just put it there. I'll have to press enter. Now you can see that the whole thing has been moved. And that way you can move entire paragraphs very easily. Okay, so hopefully that gives you a little bit of a sense of how you can create an outline. We've looked at 2 different ways to do this. I think it's a pretty amazing feature. And maybe I'll just leave you with one suggestion. Once you have created your outline like this, you can still mix the 2 styles. So you can go here and you can actually turn this into a kind of list as well. So let's just go here. Let's select all of this, and you can click on multi-leveled list, and you can even create, a mixture of the 2 styles. So there you go.